Good Erev Shabbos, everybody. Today is Lag BaOmer. When one thinks of Lag BaOmer, there are two names that really come to mind. The first is Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. Everybody goes to Meron, and there was a big tragedy today in Meron. We should daven. We said Tehillim in Shul for them. Really major tragedy that occurred. So Rav Shimon Bar Yochai's name, and in my shir, I spoke a lot about Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. We went through many Gemaras that Rav Shimon Bar Yochai appears in, and we talked about his ability to change, how he went from to become a more tolerant individual, and how that really affected his students in the future of Judaism, and why he was picked as one of the 5 students of Rabbi Akiva. The other name is Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva is such a remarkable individual. If you think about it, Rabbi Akiva, at a very late age, first started to learn, and everybody gave up on him, except for his wife. He was cut out of by his father-in-law. They were cut off financially, and yet Rabbi Akiva went and started at the beginning, and we see how great he became. He became so great that he had 24,000 students, all who were killed. And this is an amazing thing about Rabbi Akiva. The fact that he was able to reach such a level where he was able to influence so many people, so many students, even if it's an exaggeration. Obviously, he had a major impact on if the Gemara didn't say it literally, but he had such a major impact on so many students of Torah. And then he lost it all. And for most people, they would have given up. But Rabbi Akiva started again, and he built up all of Judaism from 5 students. And the tragedy for Rabbi Akiva, so here he had nothing, he built himself up, he lost everything, he built himself up again, and then at the end, he supported Bar Kokhba, and again, he lost even his life. But towards the very end, he still was able to affect change. Even at his last moments of life, he was able to be an inspiration for his students and for all of Klal Yisrael, and had a lasting effect, not only on all the learning that we have when we talk about Rabbi Akiva constantly over Shas, but as an example of how one can acquire Torah that we're going to have in Shavuos, and be able to deal with the tragedies of life, and the ability to bounce back from those tragedies. And that's really what we have during this time of the Omer, where we're able to build ourselves up, where things don't necessarily always work so well. And here we're coming out of COVID. It's been a very, very difficult time. And yet we see that Rabbi Akiva was able to build himself up afterwards. We too are able to build ourselves up and grow after this. And that's really what Matan Torah, finally, Shavuos, is where we make changes throughout our time during this period of the Omer until we're able to really accept the Torah at Shavuos. So, Lag BaOmer, it's a time of celebration. This year it's dimmed a lot because of the tragedy. We don't even know the extent of this tragedy at this point when I'm talking. And so we say Tehillim for all those people who were hurt and Rahman Aslan who were killed at Meron. And we only hope that we can take the example of Rabbi Akiva and grow through the tragedy and get to Shavuos where we could once again accept Torah ourselves. Have a great Shabbos.